Yarr me hotties! Hey what up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to another Total War Warhammer custom map battle. Today we are on a really unique map where a modder has actually gone ahead and created 2 Empire ships ready to do battle. Now I thought this was such an interesting and unique idea, I had to play a battle on it. So what we'll do is we'll run through the map itself, then we'll jump through into the army comps and then straight into the battle. If you want to skip straight to the battle itself, then I'll leave a timestamp in the description. You just go ahead and open that up, find where it says skip to battle and jump straight to the engagement. However, for those guys who actually want to kind of see a bit more about this map because it is so awesome, we will get started. So again, I want to just kind of pick up on the fact of how interesting and unique this idea is, that he's just kind of, because obviously there aren't siege battles in Total War, or there aren't ship battles I should say, in Total War Warhammer. So the fact that he's actually kind of gone ahead and tried to create so almost like a ship battle is an awesome idea. So on one side we have a Empire ship and on the other we have an Empire Rebel ship, I believe is the case. And I like what he's done with the creation of the map. He's kind of made it so that the ships are boarded. Obviously the ship is fucking massive. You can see that the scale of this cannon to an actual orc is pretty ridiculous. However, I think it makes sense for the battlefield to actually be like this. So we'll start off looking at the actual guns themselves. So we have some really nice cannons here. He's gone ahead and used a lot of materials to actually create these. I imagine these are like siege wheels being pushed up, and he's gone ahead and used that pretty nicely. We have the actual deck itself. You got the captain's quarters back there. But again, if we make our way up here, we have some really nice statues. Again, lots of cannons. I love how he's used these cannons as well for the actual ship's guns as well. If we look over here, we can see that there are plenty of beautiful cannons there on the ship ready to unleash hell. If only these cannons could be shot, that would be pretty awesome. But you never know, if they ever manage to make like a proper siege battle work, you could kind of almost mod these cannons to be shooting as if they were like a tower or something of a city. And again, you can see on this side where the ships have boarded each other, again, lots more cannons. Then we have the sails, obviously, which are obviously being pulled up at the moment. Again, but you can actually see some artwork on the sails, which is interesting as well. And then obviously, finally, we have like these long outer masks as well. And I really like how he's gone ahead and added some detail on that. It looks very empire-y, and I think that does look awesome, that is for sure. As well as that, if we look on the far back of it, of the ship itself, we can see there's a nice flag, and I love all the detail. You got the rotor here, rotor right here, and then the kind of like 2 backwards cannons as well. So overall, a really interesting map, definitely unique, and probably the most unique map I have seen. He's kind of used a bit of everything here, you know, like models from all parts of the Warhammer universe to kind of create this ship, and I think it's a really nice, unique idea that he's done. As well as that, if we go ahead and look at the army comps now, we can see what people are bringing in this battle. So I'll start off with my forces. I am playing as the Empire. I am on this right-hand side of the ship. So on my front lines, I have some Empire swordsmen. These guys are here just to go ahead and try and slow up the enemy, hold the choke points down. Not really do a lot of damage, but I'm more just hoping them just to kind of use their bodies as cannon fodder for the rest of my army to take over. Then I have 4 units of crossbowmen. These guys are what I'm hoping will do the most amount of damage. I then have some flagellants as well over here. These guys are just looking, as always, so goddamn brutal with their faces and their nails in their chest. It looks amazing. Then I have 2 mortars, one on this side, one on the other side. We also have the Sterling's Revenge. I felt like these guys look the most like pirates, so I had to bring some of these swashbucklers to the engagement itself. Obviously, this guy's got like a proper, you know, patch for an eye. He's definitely a pirate, that's for sure. Then I have like 5 units of great swords back here, acting as the meat of my army, or 6 units of great swords and a unit of Sigmar's Sons. Probably one of my favorite Empire regiments of renown. I think these guys are awesome. Then we make our way over. Oh yeah, I also have Colfrans, a Celestial Wizard, and I also have a Bright Wizard as well. We'll make our way over to the Orc army. We have a bunch of Savage Orcs on the front line. I imagine these guys are going to kind of be like my Empire swords. Then we have an Arachnarok Queen. Yeah, we do have the Arachnarok Queen along with a Giant. They are then supported by the Crimson Killers, a very potent Black Orc force. Then we have a set of, 5 units of Black Orcs to kind of match my Great Swords. We also have some Squigs and 2 units of Doom Divers, again, to kind of match my Mortars. So we've actually got kind of pretty similar armies. The enemy also has, I think, 3 units of these Savage Orc Archer Boys, and 4 units of them, along with a Shaman, an Orc Shaman, and he has obviously brought Grimgore, Ironhide to lead his forces. I also forgot to mention, I think I brought 4 units of halberdiers as well, just to kind of counter that anti-large, and also I brought a unit of gunners as well, which I also forgot to mention. So cool, I think they are the army comps, so let's go ahead and get this battle started. We'll get into a really nice position as the ships form up. I think I want to come this way to look at the ships forming up. I think this is such an epic angle right here. So let's go ahead and get this naval battle underway. Now, I was actually thinking about naval battles because originally I didn't think they would actually ever put naval battles into Total War Warhammer. I just felt like it was something they would just ignore throughout the entire battles. The Doom Diver catapults come flying in, that looks sick. I just felt like, you know, the actual battle itself probably just wouldn't, well, the next Total War game just wouldn't bother holding in naval battles because I feel like it's a feature that not a lot of people use. But thinking about it, you know, with the new factions coming in, which will probably be like the Lizardmen, High Elves, Dark Elves, or like maybe the Tomb Kings or something like that. You know, the Lizardmen and the Tomb Kings are on their own separate like continents, and I think the Dark Elves are on the same continent as the Lizardmen, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I could be definitely wrong there. Let me know in the comments, you know, what the structure is of these continents. But yeah, because there's going to be a much greater, I guess sea mass between the factions now, it would make sense to add in naval battles and kind of add that combat in, because, you know, the Elven lands aren't exactly going to be close to, say, the Dwarven lands or the Empire lands. You know, you're going to have to travel a fair amount of distance to kind of reach one another. So that's why I kind of felt like there definitely could be a possibility that they do actually add it in, solely because there isn't like a there isn't an easy access transport from one place to another. Now, what they could do, they could go back to, say, like Empire Total War and what they did in Empire Total War, and have it so that, you know, you just go into a certain section, it teleports you to the, say, the High Elf land, and you come in a little bit closer and have them sectioned, like different sections. But I don't know what they're going to do there. It'd be interesting to see. But let me know in the comments down below. I'd be interested to find out what you guys think. If you think they're going to add in naval battles into Total War Warhammer 2 when it does get released, or sometime next year, one would assume. So yeah, I'd be interested to see what you guys think. I think it's definitely a possibility. Originally, I didn't really think it was going to happen, but now really thinking about it, thinking about the possible factions that could be in the game itself, definitely does make me think that they might actually add in naval battles with the sheer amount of distance between all the new factions coming into the game and the current factions existing. Because in Warhammer 1, there wasn't really a need for naval battles. If you think about it, there's not a lot of like sea around the map that you would really utilize. Like when would the dwarfs really utilize it, apart from, say, their northern provinces, which I don't think they even have in Warhammer. You know, it's very rare that you would see, at least in the game. Maybe in the lore they would use it and utilize it, but in the actual, you know, the game itself, you're very rarely by sea. So that's just my kind of 2 cents I thought I'd talk about. So let's go and look back more into this battle, so you can see the brutal fight going on down the broadsides of these ships. Again, I love the cannons. It looks so goddamn cool. Look at them battles as well, as the ship battles just continue. I love the masks as well. That looks great. Definitely a very, very interesting map, that is for sure. So let's go and click play again and watch these battles continue to fight out. So the Arachnorok Spider has run deep into my lands, breaking through my initial swords. I have gone ahead and deployed as many halberds as I can to fight this. I'm also setting up my Sterling's Revenge as well. These guys are going to be shooting their hand pistols off at the Arachnarok Queen. They actually have a perfect vision on that Arachnarok. I also went ahead and brought down my my Bright Wizard over here to go ahead and hit the Doom Divers. You can see the Bright Wizard managed to take out these Doom Divers, and I believe my Celestial Wizard as well has made his way over here, or my Mortar has made his way over here to start hitting these Doom Divers. Hopefully by doing that, that will go ahead and wipe out the threat of the enemy Doom Divers, and just allow my Mortars to continue just to shoot off their shots. As you can see, they are coming off. By the looks of it, the enemy Orc player has started to push up his late reserves. He's moving up his Black Orcs bar 1 unit, and all of these units are pushing up into the actual engagement itself. The Arachnarok, I think I have gone ahead and set up some of my handgunners as well. So with the support of these handgunners, after they've dealt with these Spiderlings, we'll be able to turn around and start taking down the Arachnarok. How healthy is the Arachnarok right now? Oh, the Arachnarok is actually pretty much depleted already. I think the combined effort of the halberds and the Sterling's Revenge are really doing a great job at taking care of them. I'm also really impressed with my Empire swords. Even though they're not really winning these combats, they're holding off the enemy long enough to keep them at bay and allow my other flanks, where I have better units deployed, to really do their work. So I'm really impressed with the might of their forces. You can see my handgunners are now set up and focusing down that giant, trying to get some nice shots off, again doing plenty of damage to it. I think all my crossbows as well are just loosing arrows left, right and center into the enemy ranks, which I think is one of the reasons I am taking care of so many of these backwards troops, just because I've got like 5 units of my crossbows focusing them down. And as you can see, I try to kind of tone in a lot of my own crossbows on killing his archers early on to give me that range advantage in the mid to late fight, and I think that definitely is paying dividends right now. If we see right here, you can see this right flank is kind of dwindling a little bit, but I do have my great swords here to help me out and give me a bit of an advantage on this right flank. The great swords are obviously great. They are very true to their name, and with the crossbow fire coming in, that's definitely helping me out here. I believe I'm about to drop a Comet of Cassador down here. You can see it probably carrying me. You guys see it right there. We'll look at it as it comes down onto the Black Orcs. Now, unfortunately, the Comet of Cassador doesn't do that much damage. Unfortunately, I feel like it's a very underwhelming spell in Total War Warhammer, but it still looks cool nonetheless. It's kind of like the Empire version of the Foot of Gork, just, you know, huge AoE spell. But I feel like the Comet of Cassador doesn't do as much as the Foot of Gork does. And even the Foot of Gork, I feel like is a bit underwhelming for how much magic it costs. Sons of Sigmar will be engaged, I believe, somewhere down my battle line. Not really sure why my mortar line is moving up, but they are moving up bravely nonetheless. I guess I cannot fault them for that. On this left flank, my men are pushing forward. The halberds are actually got their backs turned to the enemy, which is obviously a misplay on my part. I don't really know why these guys are doing it. I'm pretty sure they were charging forward, but I guess they were not. I believe a lot of my soldiers were actually running out of ammunition at this point, so that's why they're being pushed into the engagement. But the Sons of Sigmar are literally just chilling right now. They don't even bother getting involved in the engagement. Cole Franz is going to make his rounds over the battlefield, pushing over to the right flanks of the forces which are down there. The Squigs have now been engaged in the main engagement. I've got my Celestial Wizard on his Pegasus moving over. I felt like on this map I needed, you know, a decent amount of troops which could fly and kind of use that to their advantage. I imagine the vampire counts will be pretty good on a map like this. Just being able to raise up like just hordes and hordes of undead as Cole Franz makes it deep into the enemy lines to try his best to actually break the enemy forces. I do still have some great swords in reserve, but I believe my reserve is starting to get spent. We're pushing these guys up to actually, you know, dive into the enemy lines. As the combination of Black Orcs and Savage Orcs are kind of becoming apparent that they're not going to be easily moved. Luckily, I'm managing to push back the Squigs with the support of Cole Franz. He's definitely helping out, and the Black Orcs are soon to follow, I'm hoping, with a pretty sturdy line of halberds and great swords. You know, these choke points are great. I imagine having like, say, the dwarfs or something like that would be great on a map like this. Just having the artillery with choke points, they would definitely prosper there. Yeah, you can see with the support of Cole Franz, we're managing to break that right flank, which is great news for us. As well as that, this kind of central point is getting a little bit wounded. You know, I'm definitely running out of men. But I mean, I just have so many reserves right now. The fact that I didn't really get to bring any creatures is definitely, you know, going into my favor. And the fact that the enemy creatures didn't really get to do a lot. You saw this Arachnox died pretty quickly. And we also managed to focus down the giant pretty effectively. Is definitely going in my favor. However, this left flank, we are getting slaughtered right now. My men finally turn around to start helping out. The halberds are trying to push back the Black Orcs, but again, the Crimson Killers are going to rip through the halberds like they are literally nothing. They definitely do not stand a chance, but we do have men ready to help them out right now. We have the Great Swords being pushed up to kind of fill the gap in between the lines, because we actually do have some crossbows right now fighting Black Orcs, which is definitely something you never want. You definitely never want crossbows fighting Black Orcs, because it's only ever going to go one way, and that is definitely in favor of the crossbows. As well as that, we also have Grimgor pushing up to the front lines. You can see him marching his way forward. I love his model as well. He does look like a ferocious warrior. Did he just pop? Here we go, here we go. He did indeed pop. Oh, he popped Warg and he popped Stand Your Ground as well. But I'm going to be pushing up all my great swords to try and meet him. On this right flank, we are actually struggling pretty horrifically. I think we have 1 unit of halberds we can send to reinforce, but besides that, it's up to these swordsmen and the 1 unit of greatswords I have committed here to try their best to slow these guys up who are ready to push forward. I have also got some men around my flank as well. I really didn't think I broke this flank when I did, but I guess I must have. Cole Franz is pursuing the remainder of these savage orcs. Oh my god, he is just annihilating them. He does not give a damn about any of these savage orcs. He wants the death, and he wants to take back his ship, which he lost to these orcs. The greatswords are still fighting hard, as we see the battle still rages on, as the enemy forces are starting to get wrapped around. I believe the greatswords, with the support of a few magic spells and the Sons of Sigmar, are being a potent force against Grimgor. Grimgor is down to almost half health, and he is dropping pretty quickly. I believe I am popping some of my spells against this, and Cole Franz is going to come in and just do a damaging amount of HP damage onto Cole Franz. You can see, onto Grimgor Ironhide. You can see that his HP is dropping rapidly. His morale is dropping. He is scared of Deathclaw, and I mean, for Grimgor, that's something to say, but I mean, I would be pretty scared as I see my men routing from the battlefield. You see Cole Franz just ripping apart his infantry around him with Golmaraz, and I believe Grimgor is about to rout any second now, and the victory is going to be given to the Empire as Cole Franz manages to reclaim his ship, and there we go. It was a Pyrrhic victory, but I just felt like this was an interesting battle. It wasn't a long one, it wasn't an epic one. Well, it was pretty cool, I'm not going to lie, but I thought this was a fun map and something interesting to show you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. Also, let me know what you thought of my army comp. Should I have brought the Sterling Revenge? Do you think they paid for themselves in that battle? I would like to hear what you guys have to say. As well as that, I also have a really epic battle coming tomorrow or Wednesday. It will be this one night siege at Carrick Encore. It's a really cool map where it has an outside city, then it has an inside the mountain, and then you kind of go out the mountain again. So it's kind of like a staged battle where you start off outside, you then kind of penetrate the mountain, and then continue going outwards. So it's a really cool map. So if we look at the kills, so yeah, obviously as I said, make sure to take a look at that. But as we look at the kills to see who kind of racked them up, we see Cole Franz getting 75, and I mean my Empire Swordsman kind of did really good considering they're up against Savage Orcs and Black Orcs. You don't really expect the Empire Swords to do like that, to do as much damage as they did. Obviously my crossbow is doing amazing, and if we look at the enemy forces, we can see the giant enemy Ragnarok didn't actually do too badly. I guess you kind of just have to expect them, if they're up against Empire Swords, for them to do better for how much they cost. Grimgor getting 77 kills is great, and the Savage Orcs actually doing pretty impressive as well. And the Crimson Killers, oh my god, getting 120. That is pretty decent, that is for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, it's a bit of a short video, but we have a long one coming tomorrow, so make sure to keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.